Let me guess, you're constantly battling the unique demands of shift work, aren't you? Feeling relentless fatigue, brain fog, or the health challenges that come with those irregular hours. Well, it's time to stop just surviving your shifts and really start thriving. At A Healthy Shift, we're revolutionising workplace wellbeing for 24/7 teams. As a veteran shift worker for over 40 years, I know exactly what you're up against, and that's why we've built something truly groundbreaking, the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a keynote, it's a completely new evidence-based program which is designed to empower entire shift-working workforces. I want you to imagine your team armed with the strategies to optimise their sleep, boost their energy, and elevate their health, no matter what schedule they're on. Our core keynote is powerful, but we also offer specialised add-on workshops, which cover deep dives into women in shift work, how to work your own roster optimally, as well as fatigue management for managers. We need your help to bring this transformation to your workplace. Managers want to invest in their teams, but they need to know that we exist. Are you ready to bring real, lasting change to your colleagues and your organisation? Go and visit ahealthyshift.com. That's ahealthyshift.com and follow the seminar experience link up the top, where you can download our detailed e-brochure, or you can simply follow the link in the show notes. Let's help your workforce thrive, not just survive.
Welcome to the show, Roger Sutherland from A Healthy Shift. Good evening, Roger. Thank you for coming in.
Good evening to you. What a thrill it is to be back.
Well, it's lovely to be back. You were last in studio with me over the Christmas break when Dennis was on holiday, and we got a wonderful reaction to you because we'll get you to outline a little bit about what you do, but you are essentially, you give a lot of good advice with your business, A Healthy Shift. It's over Instagram, LinkedIn. So before we kick off with tonight's topic, tell our audience and our listeners what you do.
Thank you very much. I'm a 40-year veteran of Victoria Police. I've retired. I retired in August of, not last year, the year before. And I retired to run my business, A Healthy Shift, which I coach shift workers now in emergency services and frontline health, or anyone that does shift work, to in health and wellbeing around shift work, because no one educates anyone on how to go about doing shift work. I also do seminars, webinars into corporate environments to support shift working environments to reduce their unplanned leave, their obviously their sick leave, to help their staff to really improve their health, to also stop the the turnover of staff, which is a big problem in shift working environments.
Because I think also shift working, and lots of people do shift working. I mean, here, Radio 3AW and right throughout the 9 radio network and ACE Radio, it's 24/7, 365 days a year, and people do different shifts, and quite often they'll be ending a shift. It's a very short turnaround before their next sort of shifts. But of course, paramedics, nurses, police, firefighters, everybody does that. I mean, it sounds...
One in five people are shift workers now.
But let me also say, a parent as well. There's a shift work for parents as well when you first have a baby. That's a different way.
Wait a minute. I would argue right through, Karalee. I would argue all the way through.
Because from the minute that you have a baby, you don't really ever get to sleep in again.
Even your 24-year-old, when they're out, you're lying in bed waiting for the door.
It is indeed. So what I was going to say, lots of calls this evening, 133 693, or you can send a text through to Roger, 0477 693 693. Last time we had Roger in, he talked about the importance of the light diet, but it wasn't so much about eating. It was about getting lots of fresh sunlight, even if you finish in the morning, if you're finishing at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., staying up with that sun. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a bit of a chat to you this evening and turn it around the other way. We'll talk about a couple of other topics. But the importance of good sleep.
Sleep hygiene.
Sleep hygiene, because you're an expert in that, but also it's something that a lot of us don't think about. And I guess it's fair to say that, like a lot of people who may be suffering with sleep apnea until they're actually diagnosed and they realise that they have a problem with sleep apnea. And everyone you meet that has a CPAP machine goes, I just didn't realise. With this importance of sleep hygiene, a lot of us with the lives that we lead in 2026 for lots of different reasons, through probably no fault of our own, we're actually conditioned to being in poor sleep habits through a variety of reasons. You could be caring for somebody who is sick, who needs attention. You could be a parent. You could have a child with special needs. Whatever it might be, you could be juggling shift work as well. And we get into bad routines with sleep. And I don't just mean falling asleep in front of the television and waking up at 2 a.m. and going to bed. So perhaps you could help our audience as well with the importance of a sleep hygiene and perhaps how bad habits can creep in. And if anyone out there is suffering with sleep, give us a ring, 133 693.
I'll ask you the question. Do you have a routine that you go through when you are going to bed? When you get home, do you have a routine, or is it just a flurry and jump in, fluff the doona and out?
I do. I always have a shower at night time and, of course, in the morning.
Hot or cold?
Probably warm in the evening, and brush my teeth, get ready, take off any makeup or anything, then get into bed and go to sleep.
Okay, here's what you're doing, right? So by having the warm shower, it's perfect. Hot shower or warm shower before you go to bed is ideal because what it does is it draws the blood to the extremities of the body. And then what it does is as we get out of the shower and the cool air hits us from that we're wet, it actually then cools us down, which is a signal to the body to go to sleep. That's the first one. You're taking your makeup off, so you're going through a routine and you're smelling your night cream. So therefore, what's happening is you are programming your brain that this is what we do when we go to sleep. And then, of course, people get into bed. And when you get into bed, they then lie in bed and scroll on their phones until they fall asleep.
I don't.
No, but majority of people do. And I want to make a point to a lot of people. What they do, adrenaline fueled because they're at work, particularly our shift working communities in frontline health or nursing, frontline health or policing. And then what they do is they get home, they go from an adrenaline rush in the car, into bed, scroll on their phone, can't sleep, or fall asleep exhausted, but then they wake up after about an hour and a half. This is because their body is not relaxed and not in a state for sleep. They're still in that fight or flight mode. So the importance of having a proper sleep routine for us to go through, if we were to go through a routine no matter what shift, no matter what we're doing when we go to bed. And we look at the time now at 7:14, we are now sort of starting to wind down. The sun's starting to go down. We're starting to get to the stage where we should be thinking about our routine for sleep. I would always say, and it's the word of a famous sleep specialist, if you create the environment, your body will take care of the rest.
If you create the environment, your body will take care of the rest.
Correct. In every way, whether that's nutrition or sleep. So if you actually wind down and tell your body it is safe to go to sleep, it will go to sleep. So what you do is an ideal routine would be, well, I've got a little hack for you as well. But a really good routine for you is that hot shower. So take that hot shower so that you're heating the extremities of your body. Get out. The air hitting your water on your body cools you. And then after you've done that, then you would be putting on your night cream. So you're triggering your body with that smell. And here's my sleep hack, a lavender spray. Just a little lavender spray around your pillow, around your bed. Lavender is very calming on the nervous system. It also is a trigger to help people to go to sleep as well. And then get into bed, and then we want to do a little bit of 4-7-8 breath work. So we're lying on our back, we're putting one hand on our stomach, and what we're doing is we're breathing in through our nose for 4 seconds, and we do it through our nose because of the exchange of gases. And then we hold that 4-7, and then we purse our lips like we're breathing out through a straw, and we breathe out for a count of 8. If you can get through 4 or 5 routines,
there you go.
You'll be out.
There you go. Well, I'd love to know from our listeners, 133 693. You can send us a text 0477 693 693. Do you actually have a sleep routine? Do you actually do a bit of breath work like Roger is saying? Yep. Are you a shift worker yourself? Are you somebody, because last time when you were on, we had a lot of people that were going back to shift work.
Yeah.
A fellow was going back to shift work that he hadn't done for 25 years. He was relocating, but he was going to commute between Wollongong and Melbourne, I remember. He didn't say what he was doing, but there... Have you gone back there? Have you started off 2026 in a different way? Have you got a new job coming up? Love to hear from you. Or if you've never actually thought about this and perhaps you're in the car, you're listening on the app, you're at home and you've suddenly thought, hang on a second, Roger's talking to me. This is what I've been doing. There's no judgment at all. There are great tips from Roger because he gives a lot of lectures and talks on this and really gets you to prioritise it. Because as you say, the important thing is we make time for everybody else and we make time for but not ourselves, do we?
No, and we've got to create that environment, let our body feel safe, and then it will sleep and sleep with... See, it's not about the length of sleep, it's about the quality of sleep that we're getting while we're getting it.
There you go.
And if you create that calm and safe environment with your autonomic nervous system in that rest mode, which is why it's called rest and digest, it will sleep right through and you won't wake up.
We can see through the glass. Ethan is taking all this in because he's fabulous. He does a lot of shift work. He's a lovely young man. Don't need you to go to sleep just yet. Not that yet. You are.
No
You're
breath work.
on the keys. No breath work just yet. We'll let Ethan do his magic now. We'll take a break. 133 693 0477 693 693. We're speaking with Roger Sutherland from A Healthy Shift. We'll be back after this.
Your search for the best CFD trading provider is over. Access more instruments, tight spreads and fast execution on CMC Markets' next generation platform, TradingView or MT4 platform. Awarded We Money's Best for CFDs in 2025. Make CMC Markets your provider of choice. Learn more at cmcmarkets.com. General information only. CFD trading carries significant risks, which is not suitable for all investors. Please consider relevant PDS or IM and TMD on the website.
Planning to sell your home? Download the must-read free booklet Fatal Real Estate Traps Exposed for everything you need to know to get the best result. Visit ianreid.com.au.
Ian Reid Vendor Advocates.
Go on, ring us.
You're listening to Nights on Melbourne's 3AW, the DeBortley Wines, family winemakers since 1928. Enjoy responsibly.
And this is Nights on 3AW right throughout the ACE radio network. Lovely to have your company. Karalee Katsambanis in for Dennis Walter. Now, we're speaking with Roger Sutherland from The Healthy Shift. A little bit of an audio problem here I've got here, a little bit cutting out, but that's okay. We will go straight to the lines and we'll speak to Ross, who wants to ask about shift work. Good evening, Ross. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good evening. I just want to let you know that I'm an interstate truck driver and we sort of do a shift for our work. 1 week I do 3 trips to Sydney and the second week I do 2 weeks to Sydney. Now I leave Melbourne at approximately 3 o'clock in the afternoon and then I get to Sydney by about 1:30 in the morning and then I drop our trailers, wash the truck, fill up and go to sleep for about 6 to 7 hours.
Well done, Ross. Tell me, are you still only allowed to drive for 5 hours, then you have to have a 30-minute break?
Yeah, that's correct. I drive from Melbourne to Wagga Hill, which is near Tarcutta. I stop there for 15 minutes, and then from there I go to Goulburn, have another 15 minutes, and then I have a half an hour at Picton before I go back to our depot.
Very good. And are you a power napper? Are you someone who can jump in the back or just rock the chair back and have a nap?
No, I'm very much used to doing this for about 20, 25 years.
Yep.
I sort of...
Just keep going. Just push on.
I work for a good company that, we're not pushed at all, and I do the same thing basically every week along the way back from Sydney now.
Ross, you would have seen some changes over your time too with people because companies used to really push their staff, didn't they? Whereas now things are so monitored on the trucks and also drivers are being monitored as well, a lot closer by the companies. Is that a fair
correct.
statement?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. with the satellite, we're all on tracking and everything like that. So there's people up at Brisbane that basically just sit and watch they've got about 700 trucks Australia wide, so they keep an eye on us, and also in the trucks we do have alarms.
Yep.
And also, we've got the eye
monitor.
Yeah, and we sort of get a bit, sleepy or whatever. That will go off. That will wake you up, and then they get alerted up at head office about it as well.
Do you think it's better now, or it was better back then?
Oh, it's a lot better now. It's a lot safer, which really needed to be. But still, there's other companies or subcontractors that do the wrong things, and the amount of accidents on the highway is still way too much.
A quick pause from today's topic for something vital for every shift worker. That's right, that's you. Now, you know the relentless grind, constant fatigue, struggles with sleep, and that feeling your energy just isn't where it should be. And this is a common story in 24/7 roles, but it just doesn't have to be your workforces. At A Healthy Shift, I've combined 4 decades of frontline experience with cutting-edge science to create the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a basic workshop. It's a comprehensive, game-changing program that is built to give entire workforces actionable strategies that they need to truly master their well-being on any schedule. And they're implemented immediately. Now, beyond the powerful core keynote, I offer specialised add-on workshops which dive deep into women in shift work, fatigue management, and how to work your own roster. Now, these tools empower your colleagues to thrive, improve performance, and boost their health, helping your organisation to retain valuable staff. Now, if you believe your workforce deserves better, speak up, because your managers won't know about this vital resource. Click the link in the show notes, download the e-brochure, and put it up the line. Invest in your team's most valuable asset, their health.
Yeah, and Ross, do you make sure that you drink lots of water and have lots of fruit and a healthy diet as well, or are you sort of like grabbing for the sausage rolls and the fast food?
The road stops.
The road stops.
Yeah, well, there's not many good road stops anymore, so I actually I'm a diabetic, so I take all my food with me.
Good
I
on you.
have a microwave in the truck and
Well
the
done.
television, so
They're very good now, aren't they?
also-
There's a lot of good
They are.
tools like the ovens that you can plug into
Yes.
to keep your food warm as well. They're fantastic.
I
Really
sure
good.
can.
the microwave is the way to go. It's just
Yep.
great. You can take your place of meals and then bang it in there for 5 minutes, and it's really hot. You know what I mean? The old days, well, you used to stop at every truck stop and eat
Well done, Ross.
rubbish and-
Good job.
Yeah, good job.
And thank you for what you do, because you're keeping it,
Yeah.
you're carrying the country on your back.
Absolutely, and try when you do get a day off or some time to go for a nice long walk or have a swim.
Yeah.
Damien, I know you're on the line. I'll just do one text, just to be fair. We'll do phone text. Michael has texted through 637. Hi, Michael. How long does it take to get your body clock back to normal after 3 years of working overnights, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.?
I have a theory around this that I work with my clients, or I have a method that I do. Without boring people in great detail, the trick is to stay in line as much as you can, even while you're on nights. So while you're on nights, you're working overnight. But I would treat the sleeps between the nights as naps, like have 2 naps between, but get up and get that light exposure during the day. So when you finish at 7 and then you go home, don't put pressure on yourself to try and sleep for 8 hours. Just have a sleep until you wake up, then get up, go out, get some light, get some blue light outside, go about your day, get some exercise by walking, get some movement, have a nap before you go back in again. You will find that you will come out of the nights so much quicker because your body hasn't been phase shifted into that full night shift.
Yeah.
And that's just in a nutshell. But I've been working with clients I've actually got a hypothesis that I'm getting tested by research at the moment around the way I do it, and it's going to be really interesting.
Okay, and Michael, I hear you, because often when I fill in, I will often do a 9:30 p.m. till 5:30 a.m. shift, and
Tough.
I take some of Roger's tips as well. And one of the things is healthy diet and water, and just doing
Plenty of water
and doing all that. Thank you very much. We'll go to Damien, who's on the line. Damien, thank you very much for holding.
No worries. I was just curious about the hot shower.
Yes.
I always have a cold shower. I was just wondering, is there a difference between
Cold shower in the morning?
Having a hot one to a cold shower in the morning and at night?
Cold shower in the morning, hot shower at night. That's what the research tells us. So we have if you're a 9 to 5, obviously, but if you're going to bed at night, hot shower so that it draws the blood to the extremity and gets you, and then as it cools, it's a signal to the body to sleep. Whereas the cold shower in the morning wakes you up and gets you going in a big way.
The reason why I ask, is because I'm a courier, kind of do a lot of lifting, a lot of delivering, moving parcels and all that. And I just find, like on a hot day like today, a cold shower at night just cools the body down and just feels so much better than a hot shower. Yeah,
and rightly so. And remember, it's what suits you and how it works for you as well. I think that's the best way. And for you, does that work for you, Damien? If it works for you?
Yeah, I just feel great after a cold shower.
We do that. Do that.
Yeah,
that's
it feels
perfect.
like being in
Good
an
on
ice
you.
bath kind of thing.
That's lovely. Good
Well
on
done,
you.
Damien.
Good on you, Damien. That's fantastic. A quick text also from Sphere. The 4-7 breathing technique sounds great. Is there an alternative when using a CPAP?
I'm going to research that and come back to you because I don't have the answer for that.
That's okay. That's all right. But Sphere, thank you very much indeed. We'll get an answer. We'll get an answer for you. And just before we clear a commitment, we've got time. We'll go to Cookie. Good evening, Cookie. Welcome to the show.
How you doing? All right?
All right. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah. Hanging in there, mate. I've been doing, shift work for probably the last 26 years, on and off, different hours of the day. Sometimes I've been on nights for a couple of years, overnights and all that sort of thing. It just buggers your metabolism is up right out of the book sort of thing. Your sleeping is a different pattern. I don't have too much problem with the sleeping, but it's the eating that bugs me up.
Yes. Yeah, the eating.
Knowing when you get food, what sort of food, and you're just not regular, and therefore you just blow up like a bloody balloon. And you try not to eat crap, but you can't help it sometimes because you've got to eat.
Cookie, I'm hearing you loud and clear. And if you wanted to go, or if you went to my website, ahealthyshift.com, on there I have a free ebook that people can just download. It's ahealthyshift.com, and if you scroll down, you'll see that there's a block there to download my free ebook on the what I call and have coined the phrase circadian fast, and it's about eating in line with the biological day and fasting overnight, which helps people to actually thrive so much better because you're not putting food in while your digestive tract is actually resting. So we misunderstand that because we're awake, we think our body is awake. But even though we are awake, our body is still going through the circadian cycle of rest and digest, which means our body is slowly shutting down, and it has shut down overnight. And this is why you get that gas and that bloating overnight, because you're forcing your body to digest food while it's still asleep. And this is also why we have so much insulin resistance and people gain weight as well.
And Cookie, we'll give just a little disclaimer. You don't need to share it on radio, but if you've got any underlying health conditions or diabetes or anything with a doctor, while Roger's got a great book, always just double check advice with your doctor. You might be on certain medications as well. Just take a healthy dose of having a look at Roger's book, but also perhaps checking with your doctor or medical practitioner. Disclaimer as well. But that's great. But because you're actively aware of that's really good.
Yeah, just you're aware that it is impacting on your Cookie. So go with, here's one, go with how what your gut tells you.
There you go, Cookie. Thank you very much. With that, we need to clear a commitment. 133 693 is our number. You're on nights here on 3AW and right throughout the ACE Radio network.
Master your trading landscape and trade with CMC Markets, an award-winning provider backed by over 35 years' experience. Join more than 1 million traders and realise your potential. Learn more at cmcmarkets.com. All trading involves risks.
This is Ben Reid. Are you planning to sell your home and want to know confidently what your property's worth and which agent you should choose? Talk to an Ian Reid vendor advocate first. Within 72 hours, we'll have 3 top-performing local agents inspect your home. We'll analyse and compare their proposals and help you select the best person for the job without any additional cost. Take the stress, legwork and uncertainty out of selling your home. Visit ianreid.com.au.
Ian Reid Vendor Advocates.
Go on, ring us.
More calls after this. And welcome back to Nights here on 3AW and throughout the ACE Radio Network. 133 693 is our number. 0477 693 693 is our text line. Karalee Katsambanis in for Dennis Walter this evening. And we're speaking with Roger Sutherland, A Healthy Shift. And we're getting lots of tips about shift work and sleep patterns and good sleep hygiene. Lots and lots of calls, plenty of time. The board is open. We'll go to Donna. Good evening, Donna. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Great show. I just wondered if Roger's noticed a trend in, I work for a healthcare organisation, and we're finding it more and more staff are not wanting to work night shift or are suffering from anxiety or associated stress, and asking for, flexible work arrangements so that they can avoid doing night shift, but trying to get that balance between, obviously, when you're working in a 24/7 acute hospital.
Donna, can I just ask, what's the main night shift? So, for example, we had Michael who does 11 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning. I regularly do 9:30 at night till 5:30 in the morning. What is the night shift that is most of concern where your organisation is?
Yeah, so probably with areas that do 12-hour shifts, it would be 7 to 7, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m, or 10 to 6, sometimes 11 to 7. So we do 8, 9, 10 and 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, Donna, the point that you've made that unless I'm misunderstanding, you've asked me, it's become very common for people in shift working organisations to start putting flexible working agreements in to not work nights. Is that the point that you're making?
100%.
Yeah, this is a massive problem. It's a massive problem because
it sure is.
What it's doing is it's putting a lot of pressure on the people who are left to carry the weight of doing those nights. And I will tell you, Donna, you're not alone. This has become a massive problem in this country in particular, and in particular in frontline health.
Well, yes, and policing. I mean,
Yeah,
we heard
well.
Wayne Gatt the other week. What did he say? He was talking about this, this supposed 2-day be legislated working from home. And what was his great line that ran all week? You can't drive a divvy van in a onesie.
No, you can't. No, it's a good line. But Donna, it's I hear your frustration that you're still working and other people are riding the gravy train, so to speak.
And it seems to be, understand under Fair Work the criteria that needs to be met, but this is things like, I get stressed if I work night shift, which is understandable.
Yep, but what have you signed up for, though, Donna?
Of the industry. Exactly.
Donna, I'm with you. I used to not run them, but I used to take part in the recruit panels for the policing. And we had the question that we had to ask them at the beginning because we had police coming in. And then when they saw their roster and they go, oh, no, I can't work night shift. What? Like you've signed up for policing and you're saying you can't work night shifts. So what they ended up doing was they ended up introducing a specific question. You do understand that you will be working 24/7 shift work, which will incorporate night shift, afternoon shifts and day shifts. And they had to agree to that and sign it. And that's it.
So how can we help Donna out? So what can she do?
Well, I think it's an issue that's got to be raised because it becomes a staffing issue in there. It's got to be raised with their union, that it's putting pressure on the people that are left. I think the organisations, we've gone too far in relation to this now. And I think the biggest problem, in my opinion, is workplaces don't have to agree to flexible working agreements. It's a suggestion, and they don't have to agree to it. But they're terrified to not agree with it. And I think there needs to be a bit of pushback in relation to it. Maybe you could spill the flexible working agreements, make people reapply for them, and understand that not everyone's going to get them. And if you don't like it, then you're not going to have to find another job elsewhere. And I think it's unfair on people. I mean, there's people that have got children or having babies and they get all the agreements. And you've got to remember that there's women that don't have children, haven't had children at all, that have worked their solid career, 30 years, 35 years in police, never had children, having to carry the night shifts, the afternoon shifts and nights for people that go, oh, I've had a baby, so I'm going to be off for 12 months and then my husband's going to be off for 12. Who carries the shifts?
Yeah.
This is a massive problem.
All right. Well, Donna, hopefully a few tips there from Roger, and you can have a look at his website as well. Thank you for ringing. 758, a lovely text. Thank you very much. Evening, guys. Love this segment. What are the best foods or physical activities to engage in when coming out of a run of night shifts if you have that gross jet lag feeling dragging yourself out of bed on your first day off?
Text.
Thank you, Roger. Great text, 758.
Awesome.
Thank you.
If you think about this, I want you to think about this as when you travel. Everyone travels and they go to a different time zone. What do we do when we travel in a different time zone? We get up when it gets light, we eat breakfast at breakfast time, and we get out and we're out touring. We're walking, we're out in the daylight. Exactly the same as coming out of night shift. We need to get up as soon as possible. We need to get that daylight. We need to eat at normal times, breakfast, lunch and dinner time, and we need to just engage in walking exercise outside. What we're doing, and the reason why you've got that awful jet lag feeling is because your body doesn't know where it's at in time and space. Because it can't see.
Because what it is, and I can say that when you're actually on shift, when you're engaged in the shift, whatever it is, so for example, when I fill in for Gabriel Hodgson, night shift, you're not tired during the shift at all because you're engaged, it's news, there's overseas news, everything. But it is when you get home at 6 o'clock in the morning that there's that period of time, and then if you nap and things and then you're waking up at 10 or 11, you don't quite know where you are. So it's not when you're actually on the shift work that the issue is. It's the recovery afterwards, outside of it. And you almost need to allow yourself that day, which no one has, especially if you're then swapping a shift. 043 has just texted through. Good evening to you. My son works in a warehouse. His normal start time is 7:30 a.m. However, if he had to fill in as a van driver, he had to start work at 5 a.m. The next day, he ends up with a migraine and on a couple of occasions has had to take the next day off because of vomiting. Have you got any tips?
Yeah, dude, this is actually circadian misalignment.
We'll leave your name off there, but we'll just say 043.
Yep, 043. Thank you. That is actually severe chaos in his system, circadian misalignment. And this is why I say, and I want to make this point to people, I want you to stop thinking that you've got to get 7 to 9 hours sleep. I want you to start thinking about quality of sleep and start thinking about a regular routine of sleep as a priority. Now, if you're someone who's on nights, I want you to think of it as naps. So if you're doing a night shift, have a nap, get up, get on with the day, have another nap, do the night. I want people to remember you are not supposed to sleep during the day. You're a human being. You are a diurnal creature. You are supposed to sleep at night.
What about the Greek siesta, though? When you go to Greece or Europe, they have a rest in the afternoon for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, and they have a siesta in the afternoon. It's a nap, and you notice it's in that postprandial slumber time between 1 and 3. That is a natural dip in your circadian rhythm. Every person's circadian rhythm dips between that 1 and 3. And if you're female, you will notice that even more, that your circadian rhythm will drop. Like you have lunch and everyone goes, oh, I've had lunch, all the blood's rushed to my stomach, I feel it's actually a natural dip in your circadian rhythm. So once we know that, you can work through that, because then you'll notice that around 4, you then fire up, you come really good. And it's time for you to, this is where your peak strength, your cardiovascular strength is up. It's time to go for a run. That's the time to go to the gym. Our circadian rhythm is a clock. It's a rhythm that's running over and over again all the time. So for him, it's circadian chaos. So what we want to do is we want to try and stick as much as we can with the routine.
There you go. Well, that will hopefully 043 do that as well. We'll just get you to bring that text up again, Ethan, as well. So, yes. So her son, the normal is 7:30. Van driver had to start at 5. The next day he ends up with a migraine and he's had to take the next day off because of vomiting.
Hydration would be something. Hydration
lots
would be
of water, and that doesn't
electrolytes as well.
That doesn't mean drinking the Coke
No.
and the mother drinks
No.
and the Baroccas and all that type of stuff.
No, it's water.
Water.
Yeah,
even a bit
plenty
of
of it.
Hydrolyte maybe.
Yeah,
Does that help?
Hydrolyte's
diluted
fantastic.
Hydrolyte.
But I would be certainly having something along the lines of a lot of water, and I would be just dropping a hydrolyte tablet, because the more water we drink, we tend to flush that sodium out of our system. We don't really know what creates migraines, but we do know that a migraine can be brought on by, dehydration and problems like that. We want to make sure that this water is going in through our system, more so on night shift because of this digestive tract that's resting.
There you go, 043. Hopefully that helps. Well, we're creating a lot of talkback and a lot of interest with this segment. Lisa, we will get to your text after the break. 133 693. Still plenty of time for your calls with Roger Sutherland. 0477 693 693. Any questions you've got about shift work or a good sleep routine as well, or general exercise, he's here ready to take your calls. We'll be back after this. So you just need to play this song any time of the day or night and I spring up. That's my favourite song in the whole world, September. There we go. All right, so Lisa has texted through. Hi, Karalee, Roger, team, great show. Roger, my neighbour is a FIFO worker.
Fly in, fly out.
Fly in, fly out. Very common in Western Australia. He flies home after being on night shift at 10 a.m. The first thing he does is have a couple of beers and then goes to bed. What are your thoughts on this, please?
Well, first of all, I'm going to put a disclaimer on this. I don't drink anymore and I gave up alcohol. So I just want to say this comes from a very good place. I will tell you this categorically. Alcohol, while it is a relaxant, it severely creates chaos in our system for sleep, and it doesn't help you sleep at all. In fact, it is shown that it impacts very, very heavily on sleep. Now, I can understand he comes home and he just wants to chill and have a couple of beers. He's a FIFO.
Probably
He's been away for a week.
12 days,
12 days straight.
Yep.
He's been on nights. He's come home. He wants to put the feet up and he just wants to do him because he's been at the beck and call of everybody else for 7 days. So he comes home and he goes, this is about me. I'm going to have a couple of beers. But what he doesn't realise is he'd be better off going to sleep and then waking up and then having a couple of beers. But you know what? He wouldn't feel like it then.
Yeah, well, that's
because he'd feel so awful. That's the goal. Because it would actually impact heavily. He'd be better off coming home, having a nap on the plane on the way back, and then having the beers, but staying up, going out for a walk, going out and doing things, staying up, and then going to bed earlier that night and having a solid good night's sleep. That would be the best way for him to go. I would highly discourage. I know a lot of shift workers, especially in emergency services, will have alcohol to relax them, to rule a line between the shift and home, and then will try and sleep, and they go to sleep. But it causes so many problems for your sleep.
Okay, there we go. Hopefully that helps. Good tips to pass on to your neighbour and get him to look up Roger on Google and on the internet because, of course, of your website. Now, DMAC has texted in. He said, my belief is pressure on something in your head causes migraine headaches. Qualified by having after severe ones for 10 years. I went through a windscreen and a 100
mile an hour crash.
So he might be from the UK because 100 miles per hour is more than 100 k's per hour. Broke the frontal bone in half, fractured the skull in 2 places, never had a migraine again 60 years later.
That's incredible. Went
mean?
through a windscreen, but he's never had a migraine since. The crash fixed the migraines.
Yeah, well, that could be a bit of a tongue-in-cheek, DMAC, if you've just texted through. Now, listen, we've spoken about lots of tips for sleep and still plenty of time for calls, 133 693 or 0477 693 693. But we know that you prioritise your exercise.
I do.
You make an effort to do swimming and things like that. But you said something interesting to me just before we came on air before about what's happened to your swimming and gym membership.
Yeah, well, I'm actually recovering from PTSD, anxiety and depression. And part of my recovery has been, obviously I had psychology and psychiatry all the way through. The thing that's helped me more than anything is that circadian alignment, getting up, getting out, getting the light and exercising early. Now that might be just walking, or it has lately, since December, has been swimming, and I've been swimming 5-6 days a week and swimming 1,500 metres, and I've been out early as the sun's coming up and doing my laps, and my recovery's been fantastic. And the insurer has just stopped my gym swim pool membership, which they were paying for as part of my recovery, but they have literally just stopped that, saying that you have stabilised, so now we're not paying for it anymore.
Okay.
So now, how do you reckon that impacted on my mental health?
Probably not too good.
Yeah, I haven't been well at all the last few days. In fact, it makes me quite emotional to think about it, because I've done really well managing it myself, doing something on my own, swimming laps with the black line of meditation, going up and down the pool, sorting out life problems in my own head, doing it for me, and now they've taken that off me. Now, don't get me wrong. It's selfish. I could go and pay for that and do that myself.
Yes, I was going to say.
I can absolutely do that, right? No problems. And I don't have a problem with that. But they're paying for the recovery. They're paying. And I was told on the phone that, because I said, you'll continue to pay for psychology, and they're going to pay for the psychology, which I didn't tell you. Since I've been doing the swimming, I haven't been going to psychology because I don't need it.
I guess in a way, if you put the big nasty hat on of the insurance company,
they're saying we've done our job.
Yes, they're saying we've done our job.
Yep.
We've given you the tools to try and get you through for the rest of life as well.
Yep.
Off you go.
Yep.
So in a way, I understand them doing it. Is it fair? No, because it's always a bit of a shock. But I guess in a way, you are a living, breathing, walking example to everybody else listening to this show that just with those support structures in place, it's what you're doing regularly, and it's really good. Not everyone, as you know, and you're certainly not advocating it, but not everybody can perhaps swim or do it every day.
No.
But what you're also demonstrating is by realising that it has helped you and by making it part of your routine, whether it's every day or twice a week or 3 times a week, that's really important, because you're actually putting you first, because we know as a police officer from Vic Paul, you've put
I've given enough to myself to everybody else.
Yourself to everybody else.
Yeah. Yep.
So in a way, it's good. Now, we've got to clear a quick commitment, and we'll be back after this. We're on nights on 3OW here in Melbourne and right across Victoria throughout the ACE Radio network. Just before we go to news coming up at 8 o'clock, Roger, thank you very, very much for giving up your time so generously this evening for the listeners as well. Some great questions and topics. And if nothing else, you've got people actually thinking about the prioritising
That's all we want.
Of sleep as well.
Yeah, we just want people thinking about it. Quickly, our CPAP man, if you would email me direct, please, and the email address is on the website, and I will get back to you in relation to how to support you with a CPAP machine. Lisa has just said, with the neighbour with the beers and the FIFO, can you repeat your website again, just really quickly? ahealthyshift.com. A healthy shift, all one word, .com. I'd love to communicate with you through there. And we'd love to have you back on nights next time we're able to do so. Thank you very much and have a wonderful weekend. News is next at 8 o'clock, and after then we're talking cheese.
Master your trading landscape and trade with CMC Markets, an award-winning provider backed by over 35 years' experience. Join more than 1 million traders and realize your potential. Learn more at cmcmarkets.com. All trading involves risks.
This is Ben Reid. You will have heard conflicting stories regarding the current state of the real estate market. If you have a property to sell and want to know if this is the right time and what you need to do to get the best price, talk to an Ian Reid vendor advocate first and ask for a copy of our free booklet, Fatal Real Estate Traps Exposed. It's a must-read before selling your home. Call 9430 0000 or visit ianreid.com.au.
Ian Reid Vendor Advocates.
Sell your home a better way.
Go on, ring us.
The El Maco is back at Macca's with chunky salsa, smooth sour cream, and now crunchy chicken on the El Maco McCrispy and El Maco McWrap. Get 'em while you can. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Available after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time.